What's up, Jets Nation? It's your boy, Jersey Boy. We're back at it again. We just wrapped up our second preseason game and we came away with another dub against a superior opponent in the Browns. We'll take a look at what happened in that game, but let's check out some of these career clocks here. So we had our breakout player mission with Jordan Jenkins. He says that wasn't the elite performance I was hoping for, and it's not for lack of effort. I promise you that. Maybe it's the scheme, the play calling, I don't know. So he didn't meet his goal. Didn't seem the happiest right now. That's a-okay. We're going to keep it pushing. Our offensive coordinator, coach, awesome win. The Browns defense can be an absolute nightmare with Garrett coming off the edge, but hey, we got the victory. So good news there. It looks like we got an extra 500 experience points for the offensive line, which is fantastic. Try to get whoever we can develop, see if there's any other pieces along with our center that we'll be able to help build the future with. All right, we got a couple upgrades. So Le'Veon Bell, and let's just pour that into his elusive back rating. +2 awareness, +2 elusiveness, awesome, and we got some break tackle. All right, James Burgess Jr. With our scheme, pass coverage is the best option. Let me take a look at what we're looking at here. Okay, block chin is going to be important, but his zone coverage is also pretty low. Probably not somebody that'll stick around, but we'll see what we can do with him. So this will increase his own man and his tackling ability. Okay, +2 zone, +1 awareness. Pretty poor upgrade this time around. A-okay. Ben Braden. It's not really going to matter what happens with him. I already can guarantee you he's not going to last with us. But let's get to these stats. So we beat the Browns, score of 12-6. So we lit it up in the first quarter, quote unquote, lit up. We got 6 points, and then we added another couple field goals in the fourth quarter. The good news is, though, we definitely did much better with our offensive performance this time around. So let's take a look at what happened in the game. Mayfield went for 256 yards. We got a pair of sacks. No other notable performances from him. Sam Darnold, an interception toss this game, and then 290 passing yards. But we got 8 sacks on it, so they pretty much ate him alive all game long. Taking a look at the rushing attack, much better performance from Le'Veon Bell, though, 20 for 82. We don't have any touchdowns or anything from him. Kareem Hunt, we kept to a low so far of 21 yards, so it's looking like our run defense is doing exceptionally well so far. Ty Montgomery pitched in with 1 carry for 10 yards. I'll have to take a look at the subs that we have going on and see if we're just not running enough plays maybe, or what's going on there, so we can try to get some other of our halfbacks some more reps, because other than that, they haven't been able to contribute a whole lot. In the receiving department, we have Eli Rogers going off for 91 yards on just 4 catches. Awesome to see. Jarvis Landry led us up to 90 yards on 6 catches. Chris Herndon had a much better game the second time around, going for 84 yards. Quincy and Nunn were putting up 70 on just 4. So a bounce back game from a lot of our receiving departments here. Le'Veon Bell also able to do a lot more with the 7 receptions that he had this time around, going for almost 50 yards. Other than that, let me just see the Browns specifically. It's nobody that lit us up with any chunk yardage, which is awesome to see. All right, let's take a look at the blocking. So Cody Whitehair allowed 2, Beecham got 2, so pretty much merry-go-rounds and turnstiles for everybody on the line. We expected this again, so at this point it's just about seeing if we'll end up breaking any sack records or anything like that with how many we've been allowing. But I'm not too worried about Cody Whitehair from the standpoint that he doesn't have the best supporting cast around him. So we're not going to focus so much on the sack numbers as much as how are we progressing overall as an offense as we move forward. Taking a look at the defense, CJ Mosley leading the way again. Adams getting in there quite a bit, and then we have Nickerson rounding out our top 3 this time around. Tackles for loss, CJ Mosley again leading the way. Ja'Kai Polite actually joining the field there as one of our leaders. Williamson gets 1, so does Jenkins. Brandon Copeland and Nathan Shepard. Okay, so Shepard having a sack on back-to-back games, which is nice to see, and then we didn't get anything else of note there. So, with that said, we're going to be moving into our week 3 game where we'll be facing our division rival Patriots. They still have Brady and stuff so far, so we'll take a look at what the roster is looking like. But um, at this point, putting guesses on this doesn't even matter because it seems like things are not necessarily going according to plan. I want to rack up as many W's every season as we can. I'm not really a fan of tanking, which is why we built up all the draft capital that we have. And this also will give us a first look at who we're scouting. I'm going to focus on the offensive line until we've kind of run through all of our players there. So let's go ahead and take a look. So CJ Mosley actually won AFC Defensive Player of the Week for us with his 14 tackles, a forced fumble, and then he recovered 2 of them, which is awesome. We have some more career clocks here, so let's see. Our defensive coordinator, coach, we've got a tough matchup this week. We've got to figure out a way to shut down Tom Brady. If we just sit back in coverage, he's going to shred our defensive backs. We got to find a way to disrupt them and get them thrown off platform. Any ideas? So again, Tom Brady is in the upper stages of his career. He's getting much older, but he's still Tom Brady. He's basically a person where we can only do so much, so we'll focus on slowing him down. I don't know if we can stop Brady, but if we slow him down, the entire team starts to fall apart. So we'll do whatever we can to make him uncomfortable out there. I'm all for a coach, but let's play conservatively. If we blitz too much, he's going to burn us bad. So seems like we'll be putting an emphasis on the passing game here and trying to limit them to doing too much damage. So hopefully we can achieve that there. And then our cornerback X factor. So coach, we need to think about prioritizing the run this week because Stephon Gilmore is going to be shadowing our receivers all game. There might not be a better man-to-man corner in football. His ability to break on the ball is ridiculous, and there's a good chance he makes us pay for it throwing it his way. How do you want to handle him? So again, a lot of these kind of situations is probably going to be slowing them down. We don't really have anybody where we can most definitely say we're going to disregard or try to completely neutralize them. Um, if we commit to neutralizing, I'm assuming that's going to mean that we put an emphasis on the run game as they were kind of mentioning. So we'll just commit to slowing him down, kind of see what that looks like. Yeah, Gilmore poses a big problem, but I think we'll be fine as long as we play smart, balanced football. No silly throws, no panicky decisions, no turnovers. Don't let them intimidate us. I'm on board, coach, but all that being said, I'd still try to throw away from Gilmore whenever possible. It might be a good game to target our tight end and utilize some screen start running backs. So we need to beat the New England Patriots, and we need to throw 1 or fewer interceptions. We'll see. It's a tall ask for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roster real quick, and then we'll get into the scouting. So, dealing with the Patriots, who we know very well, Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady still has amazing stats for his career: 99 short accuracy, 98 medium. He can still throw it deep. One of the best at throwing under pressure, so he is no slouch. Halfback department, we have James White, who plays essentially the lead receiving back role. He does have an ability to run very well, and then Sony Michel there leading the way as the young backup in the stable there. Rex Burkhead plays more of the power back role for them. James Devlin, and then moving into the receiving department, Julian Edelman, the long time leading the slot for them essentially. They do have Josh Gordon here, and then they have Demaryius Thomas and Philip Dorsett as the speed to round out that group. And then they have a young player in Nikhil, Harry, that they can hope to develop and help take over for whoever ultimately ends up superseding Tom Brady's career. Tight end department, Benjamin Watson, Lance Kendricks. We'll see what we face on this offensive line. Young Isaiah Wilson, I know he did have a little bit of a injury history. And then Joe Thuney, amazing guard, David Andrews, Shaq Mason. You know they've always tried to keep a really solid offensive line in front of Tom Brady. And this is no different. On the defensive side, they've kept Michael Bennett, or brought him over, I should say. We have to deal with John Simon, so not the strongest defensive line. They do have Lawrence Guy and Danny Shelton there to try to hold down the fort in the middle, so some bigger sized guys. And then on the linebacking core, Kyle Van Noy, kind of a solid do-it-all linebacker. In the middle, nobody necessarily to note that's going to be dangerous, but we know everybody just basically does their job to limit damage. And then on the right side, they have Dante Hightower. So he's always been a menace and a problem for us. We'll see what happens during the game. As mentioned, Stephon Gilmore manning down their top spot. Definitely one of the strongest man coverage corners that is in the game. And then Jason McCourty still being retained by the team, doing a very serviceable job. J.C. Jackson there, and then Joe Juan Williams there to help keep the depth, build some solid rapport with the team. Devin McCourty holding down the deep safety spot, and then Patrick Chung and Deron Harmon holding down the safety spots for them. So overall, again, we're having our hands filled, and we'll have to see them again in a couple weeks. So this will be a good precursor to hopefully any changes we can make moving into that second battle with them, or overall just kind of seeing where a lot of our weaknesses are. We've been eking out some wins in the first 2 weeks, but it's not like we're showing a particular strength in any one category. But let's get into scouting. So we're going to go with the auto-generated rookies. I'll think about maybe for one of the next versions of this that we do, potentially doing one of the downloads or importing a local file from the community, because that would be fun to kind of see like a first draft class like Mekhi Becton and them in here. But for now, we'll stick to what the auto-generated rookie class is going to be. And let's go ahead and start focusing on this line. All right, so I'll basically take a look at the top 3 rounds for each position. Okay, so we do have some potential targets here that should be well. Gabe Robertson looks like he could be a good fit for us. He has very good size. He's actually in the Mekhi Becton kind of mold, which is ironic enough. And then left guard wise, that A- impact block is something that's intriguing to me. I do think impact block is a very important skill set, because it lets us know that they can hold on to those blocks even if they do tend to be overmatched, or if they have the advantage, it's that much more effective for us. Jack Barker also looks like he could be solid. So just baseline level, it looks like we might have a lot of talent to choose from to help beef up the line, and we don't even know what the free agency class will look like. So this is shaping up to be really good for us. And even though we have a center, he's not necessarily the center of the future. So I do want to find a developmental center as well that we can stash behind him to make sure we have a smooth transition, because we've had really good luck for basically the better part of the last 2 decades transitioning between Nick Mangold and Jason Mawai and stuff like that before we had to come to what we have now with dealing with like Jonathan Harrison and stuff like that, which no negative impacts with them, just saying obviously they're not starting without any kind of disputes or anything like that, so still potentially budding talents that we're waiting on. With that said though, guys, just want to catch you up to speed on some stuff. So I've been testing out in between, since the games are simming, which basically just means I've switched the setting to low and I'm just letting the game handle everything based on how the stats and all that stuff match up between the teams. I'm going to take a look at how I can record that. It's not necessarily the way I would want to do the videos, but if I can incorporate some of the gameplay for the second set of 4 games that we have, that will be awesome. It'll probably be a little bit more chopped up, meaning we'll only show like the splash plays for the most part, probably anywhere from 3 to 7 plays per quarter, potentially, just seeing how my editing might work, since I don't have everything that I'm used to having for older videos that I've done in the past. But just want to let you guys know you can look forward potentially to some gameplay if I can go ahead and get that figured out. But other than that, guys, it's your boy Jersey Boy. I'm out. Please like, subscribe, share with all your friends, and we will be back at it after we see what happens with the Patriots. Peace. PlayStation